we think that any improvement in evaluation needs to shift the goals and shift the mindset around evaluation, so that instead of sort of aiming at this really low level, evaluation needs to be growth-oriented. It needs to be much more continual and organic in the teacher's week, month, or year, or career. And it needs to be aimed at making every teacher better. Okay? With 18 years in the classroom and 10 of them in my current job, I could sit down with anyone and give you a list of my goals and areas I need to improve, but I'm not getting enough support in the evaluation system. And I want your help, if you can be influential in policy, to build an evaluation system that's going to keep me teaching for another 18 years.
We didn't want to recreate an entire system, so we looked at what professional standards have set, and really brilliant people have done excellent work, like the work of the National Board, the California Standards for the Teaching Profession. These are really important foundational pieces, and I think we didn't attempt to reinvent those, but we need to figure out how to make them meaningful to teachers in the classroom, because a lot of times they're just wallpaper or kind of like the documents you sign when you're refinancing your house. We thought it was really important to include authentic assessments of teaching in action. We're not relying on simply passive data or a quick drive-by observation, but we really want to see what's going on in the classroom. We want teachers involved in the process of choosing the evaluation systems and working with, at the district level and at the state level, with figuring out what should be the method, because the whole point is to shift the mentality on the part of the teachers, and you don't do that unless you engage them as partners in this process. We want evaluation systems to include evidence of student learning, authentic evidence. So yes, we can look at standardized test score data, but we really want a lot more sources for information about what our students are learning, since there's so many other dimensions of learning that aren't captured in those tests. And thank goodness our state is finally moving in this direction. We think there should be regular evaluations by trained peer and administrative evaluators. And I was just down in Los Angeles and heard some horror stories about administrators who are now being required to do like weekly, these such frequent evaluations that they'll come in for 5 minutes, catch a teacher doing a warm-up, and give them an evaluation that says no evidence of student interaction. So we have to be really careful when we put pressure on a system, just like we learned with No Child Left Behind. You put pressure on a system and you do not build the capacity of the system, then you will get unintended consequences. And so we have to be really careful that we look to expand the capacity of our system. And that's where we think that teachers within a school are a tremendous untapped resource in terms of if people look at evaluation as the purpose of it is to catch the bad teachers and get rid of them. They have to look at evaluation from a positive standpoint, that my peers are here, my administrator is here to give me some feedback to improve. And point number 6 relates to the granting of permanent status, which is sometimes labeled tenure, but permanent status should really happen after an intensive evaluation. That's a big stakes decision, and there should be some serious evaluative attention paid to that as part of bringing someone into the profession. And lastly, related to what I was saying before, the whole point is to provide useful, timely feedback in a constructive manner and connect that feedback to opportunities to professional growth so that people can grow in their as teachers.